けてほしい。この世界の美しさを君たちに見つけてほしい。この世界で共に生きるポケモンたちとの冒険の日々を、そして未来を。
I think, my friends, I have expressed it over and over again, but Pokemon Horizons is so good. This episode was so good. It just simply was. It was just so good. Not only did it solidify itself in really constituting the adventure and what's going on and the magnitude of it and what's going to happen next, right? We need to find the 6 Pokemon. We need to find Rayquaza and Lapras and Entei. And they already have Moltres. They already have Arboliva. So it's like they need to go and find the 6 Pokemon, right? That were the 6 heroes of before. So then you go find the 6 Pokemon. So we solidified the story and kind of what's the thing, initiative and agenda pushing forward this episode. So we solidified that. We solidified that Liko grandma is a certified badass, okay? We solidified that. We moved the story forward in not only Liko, but Roy as well, with them both becoming better trainers and winning a battle against a Golduck and a Rhydon. Also, side note, why is our poor boy Rhydon always used as an evil Pokemon? He was traditionally used, I think, by Giovanni before at Team Rocket. And now, once again, it's just Rhydon is just like the antithesis of evil Pokemon. I would say on the evil Pokemon scale, we always got Tyranitar and Rhydon and the Gyarados. Like we always got like these mainstays in Pokemon. You know, and I always find that like really interesting that we always get like these like repetitious Pokemon when it comes to representing the bad guys. Skarmory too is one of them too, which I think Skarmory appeared way back when we kind of swapped Team Rockets from Jesse and James to the orange hair and blue hair guy. I don't remember what their names were. But like I think like I love that we're seeing it again. And I love that we saw Liko and Roy step up to the plate, and Sprigatito and Fuecoco to step up to the plate and win some really crucial battles for them. Then we got to see Pikachu come in and be a total just, you know, like Master Ball level, like, you know, like Pikachu came and Pikachu'd, okay? And I thought that was really sick. And we got to see the girl, like the evil girl come in. Well, before I talk about that, we got to see Garganackle come in with Salt Cure, which I've always been interested in that move. It's a really OP move. Really useful in raids and stuff too in Scarlet and Violet. But it was nice to be able to kind of see it come to fruition and kind of see it come and on screen what that looks like. Secondarily, we have the girl with the the Pokemon's name evades me, but Big Head. She came in with Big Head, you know. And as Snowrunt's evolution, it's gonna bother me. It'll hit me. My least favorite one. But we had her come in and get just bodied by Pikachu, and she decided to use Explosion. You know, and that was a whole thing. And then let's talk about Amateo, okay? So one of the things I've solidified with at least Amateo as a character is I actually really like him quite a bit. And, you know, there's something very virtuous and honorable about Amateo. And if you've been around on the channel and you've seen me review other shows, one thing that I've been talking about in other shows recently and then, you know, in the past too, is I always really love a character who is believing whatever they're doing is right. And I'm kind of on repeat because I've said this for a couple of other anime with similar written characters, but a character, you have to really be able to empathize and really like a character who believes wholeheartedly that what they're doing is the right thing. There's nothing cooler than seeing a character who, even if it's evil, even if they're the bad guy, even if they're whatever, they think the actions they're doing, even if they're wrong in the eyes of the world or in the eyes of your protagonist, but that they believe that they are doing the right thing. I love when I see characters like that. And 𝐒𝐴mateo, I think, fits that bill. He fits that virtuoso type build. And he fits that bill. And he's one who could probably even change sides sometime in the future and like have a redemption arc. But I genuinely think that whatever is driving him, I think he thinks that this is the right thing. But you can tell when he's making certain decisions that he puts his values first before the mission, right? Like he won't, like this episode, right? Freed came in and he had his Corviknight, and Freed came in and he threw out, I keep hearing Soul Blades all of a sudden, but he threw out his Pokemon, and Freed was like, okay, so it's gonna be two versus one. That's how we doing it. And he called back his Corviknight, right? And he made it 1-on-1. Like that's a value thing there. Like he values himself as a Pokemon trainer, and he puts that first, you know, doing the right thing in his mind. Like even though he's the bad guy, he puts forth of like, well, I can't cheat. If I'm gonna beat you, I'm going to beat you the right way. You know, so I love that about 𝐒𝐴mateo. On the opposite side, Freed total badass, right? Like I like how we got to see Charizard terrestrialize. Very interesting that Charizard's dark or Charizard's terrestrial type is dark. Loved seeing that. Wish he went with something else but Terra Blast. He went with Terra Blast, but I would like to have seen a different move, like a different dark move, maybe like a Dark Pulse or something that he can't really do normally. But regardless, I loved seeing that. And I like how Charizard's always the mainstay for Gigantamaxing or Mega Evolution, or in this case, Terrestrialization. They always find a way to rope Charizard back in, being one of the best Pokemon ever, right? I got my Charizard, I think, right behind my head over here, as you guys can see. So it's like, I love that, and I really do love that. So overall, like, this episode was just fantastic, not only solidifying our adventure and where we're going forward, but then looking back on it, we got to see all the things that led up to this way. You know, and the last thing I'll say is, outside of, you know, Liko grandma being a badass and being tied to Lucius the hero, is when it comes to the bad guys and the 𝐒𝐴mateo's group, the evolutions, the adventures, the Elo something starts with the E, I think, but the Musketeers. When it comes to 𝐒𝐴mateo's group, you know, I just really want to know what's driving them. Like, who's Zordon? If you don't know that reference, Zordon was the big old head leading the Power Rangers. But who's this Zordon-looking dude who's leading them out? I want to know that. And what's their ultimate goal? Getting Lucius, getting to that world that he's supposedly in, getting his Pokemon. What's their ultimate goal here? And I can't wait to find out more. But anyways, Pokemon Horizons, chef's kiss. So good. See you next weekend, my friends. Pika Pika.